Welcome to another skull-crushing episode of Fearless TV, the program with 88% replacement parts and a perfect safety record. Coming up the next half hour, we'll hit you right on the back of the jet ski to access some serious swells. The big rubber boat gets another pounding with more whitewater rafting. And we'll jump out of a perfectly safe plane. Two up, all this and other colourful bits on Fearless TV. Let's go back to Thredbo for the women's downhill finals. With all the action, here's Marcus Lovett.
To the top for the finals. The women's was not without drama. Hanneke had a new bike for the final and the brakes were set the wrong way. But there was no time to fix it before the start. Taylor looked relaxed and Vanessa appeared nervous. The top four women are in place and they're off. Taylor goes straight to the lead, while Vanessa and Shelley fight for second, and Hanneke is happy to follow behind. Coming into the first bend, the places are set. Taylor first, Shelley second, Vanessa third, and Hanneke fourth, uncomfortable with her change in the brake setup. Taylor never seems to push it that hard. Shelley takes advantage of this and closes the gap. Entering the grassy chicanes, Taylor increases her lead and the placings spread out. Unless there is a crash, the race results are a foregone conclusion. In winter, this section of the hill is a hard and fast ski race course. Taylor Maxlow looks behind, calculates the lead and cruises the rest of the way to win the Raw NRG Dual Eliminator. Shelley Webb catches up but is never really threatening and comes in second. Vanessa Adams rides a good personal race to finish third.
Alongside its faster growing and better known half of freestyle snowboarding, alpine boarding has also made some leaps forward. Once primarily seen as an official Olympic sport involving extremely disciplined, hard training athletes, some being former giant slalom skiers and a handful of new recruits dedicated to going fast through the gates, the sport is gathering a sizable recreational following of its own. The growth of alpine or carving board riding as a sport has expanded more slowly due to its dependence on snow conditions and rideable areas, as wider, steeper slopes covered in fresh powder are not always easy to find, especially in countries where the coastline is the major drawcard. After all, what's the point in buying a specialised board if it can only be ridden once a season and does not suit the general terrain? More and more carving boards are starting to appear on the mountain, and with events like slalom and giant slalom for snowboards being heavily televised, a following is steadily growing. Carving boards require a more specialised riding style, and due to their stiffness and responsiveness are much less forgiving, but the sheer speed and flow from edge to edge are worth the increased concentration. Stance is also more forward inclined to allow for a narrow board waist for quicker edge transitions, and hard bindings are the preferred option for stability at speed. Let's blast out on the board again. This time the terrain is much harder and the deck is much shorter. Kick flips and grinds are the order of the day. The mission is for the skater to become one with the board. To do this requires many hours of continually practicing tricks, so balance during big airs and transitions is second nature. Cliff jumping is a special kind of madness that few have the nerve to master. Check the number of arm movements, count the seconds in the air, and nail the landing, all without even glancing at the rocks flying by. Time for more air, of the kind rushing by at 5,000 feet. We're on board the jump plane once again, designed to hold a maximum of 10 people safely to the drop zone. For first-time jumpers, this is the ideal way to experience the rush of leaping into thin air at great heights, without the added risk of a failed chute or blacking out at 120 miles an hour. The tandem jump ensures the inexperienced jumper is securely connected to an experienced skydiver who oversees and controls the descent. If you're a big fan of pointy things underwater like board fins and tips, or even shark fins, then underwater cameraman is the job for you. For relaxation, try holding your breath for 3 minutes while being pounded from above. For many years now, surfers looking for the ultimate rush in a contest of strength with nature have been doing battle with giant swells of the ocean, often waiting months for 40-foot plus waves, at notorious breaks such as Mavericks and Jaws. Such is the sheer size and power of these waves formed offshore, it would be madness to attempt to paddle out into the wave face, and physically impossible to gain enough speed for takeoff. One solution has been to employ jet skis with specially designed floating rigs to tow the surfers up the speed, down the face of the wave, then peel out of harm's way. This has led to the development of tow-in surfing and an ability to access offshore breaks that were once viewed only with envy in flyovers. Larger boards with foot straps are also being used to create more stability during huge speed, generated by enormous walls of water. Whitewater rafting has been with us for many years now. And in almost all countries with accessible waterways, you can generally find a whitewater rafting company with a crew only too keen to get you in the boat and on the water. Size of rapids and adrenaline rush can vary enormously depending on the experience of the crew and the amount of money you're willing to part with, although the deposit doesn't always guarantee a fun-filled adventure. Waterfalls are a favourite haunt for whitewater rafting crews, and a good 10-foot drop into a deep enough pool keeps all those on board on edge and wary when any whitewater comes into view. The rubber rafts used in most expeditions are considered to be fairly safe and suffer more from exposure to the sun than anything encountered downstream. All in all, a good way to get a close-up look at the river and its features.